Alright, let's walk through the OTP Phantom Edition. By far the most powerful software in the universe. Alright, when you first open up your screen, you've got a few options here. Nothing too intimidating. Pretty easy to work with. We've got Run Phantom. This is the default settings screen, right? This is where you're going to do everything. You've got an action stream, which when this is running, when you set this program running, it's going to start showing you things here just to kind of keep you in the loop. You've got a tutorial screen, which you can click on anything and it'll just give you some basic information on that. Right, and then these buttons, just more support type of things. Then advanced options, to where you can clone an existing project, or you can inject additional content into the pages that you're going to be generating. We start out with just some basic stuff, so let's get this filled out. Alright, so I've filled out my basics here. I gave it a project name. I gave it some keywords. I gave it a final destination URL. In other words, this is the URL that I want people to land on, and my OTP site destination URL. This is where I'm going to be uploading to. Now, I didn't put anything on the append to front or append to the end, and what that means is you can append text to the front of all these keywords or to the end of all these keywords, or both if you put something in there. Like I could very easily put, for example, 2018, right? And it would be Free Stuff 2018, Free Stuff Craigslist 2018, just through all of it. But I don't need any of that. I'm just going to do the basics here, which is usually how I personally do my campaigns. So I've got all that in there. It's telling me that I've got, now these are just basically long tail keywords, right? We use these as titles. And I click the calc button and I've got 482 titles, which means if I was to double these titles, in other words, make every possible combination of these titles using two titles as the page title, that would give me over 232,000 possible combinations, 232,000 pages available that I would be able to create out of this. So now I've got a few more options. I've got set overlay color. The way the Phantom works is when a person clicks on a link in the search engine, it goes to your page and then an overlay is displayed there showing whatever you want. So what I'm going to do is I've got several options here. I'm going to click, I'm going to go over to browser safe, and I'm going to tell it that I want my pop-up to be this color. Tell it OK. Now, clickbait image. This is the image that's actually on your overlay, right? This is what you're using to get people to click to go on to end up on your offer page. This is an SEO tactic that's that Google does like, Bing likes, everybody likes it. It's acceptable and usable. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Let me get this over for you. I always put a default in, and this is the default that I use. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. You'll have access to the exact same image I use, but of course you can use your own custom image that you want. And then there's a translate project. All right, well, I'm not going to translate anything. I'm just going to leave this as English, but you can translate it into any language. And when you do that, when you click this button, basically it's going to give you a little prompt, let you know what's going on. It's going to open up Google translation page just so that you can translate these keywords that you're using, and you can translate your titles. So you would just paste them into the form, translate them, paste them back into here to replace the ones in the language that you chose. Single and double. Single means if I use single, it's only going to create 482 pages. If I use double, it's going to sit there and create 232,000 plus pages. use existing content. This is a pretty massive time saver when you're making campaigns that are extremely similar to each other, to where you feel like it's safe to use the same content, because it's not going to be the pages won't be the same, but you'll be pulling from the same content pool. And we'll go over that in an actual in-depth tutorial. This is just a walkthrough. And we have options on what type of site we want to build: HTML site, HTML site, ASP site, or PHP site. We're just going to leave it on the default, which is HTML. So I'm going to go ahead, now that I've created my campaign, I'm going to save it. So we're good there. Now, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and load this project again, just to make sure that I didn't lose any information anywhere along the way. So now this is created. Now we could click this View Projects, and it's going to show us the project that we've got. Now right now inside here is just some basic information. This is basically all of your campaign information. And this folder, it's empty right now, but this is what's going to hold everything that you upload to get your site active. So let's go ahead and start the software. Now, 482 titles, that shouldn't take long. So let's go ahead and start it. When you start it, this goes on, and I obviously had selected the Use Existing Content file. Now we can come over here and look in our action stream, and it's telling us what's going on. Right now it's collecting content. It did our title work fast, since we were only creating 482 pages. So on this particular run, your longest time that it's going to take is just generating the content. In other words, pulling the content that all the search engines have already said, I love this particular content for this particular keyword, because we're going for that. When we start using these long tail titles in conjunction with a mixture of this content, we are going to be giving the search engines absolutely everything that they've already told us that they know and love. So we'll just wait this out for a few minutes. This will stop whenever the program has completed. Okay, so it went ahead, it finished our process, and it gave us an alert to let us know, so we're going to tell it okay. We're able here, we look in this stream and see how long everything took to achieve. The content process took 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And that's about all that took any time on this, such a small campaign. So now let's come over. We're going to click the View Projects. Here's our offer. Here's some base pages it made. Now this is just some stuff the system is using for itself, and a README file that you do need to read. And then inside this folder, all of these files are created. So let's go ahead. Now I've got this domain that I chose for this, easydayware.com. I just dumped all the old stuff because I don't even remember what I was using it for into that. So if you had a new domain, you would just go in here to your public HTML file folder, because if you recall, where is my software? If you recall, this is where we said we're going to put it. So because we didn't put any subdirectories here, that means that this campaign, this project, was designed to go into the public HTML folder. So let me scooch this out of the way a little bit and get to our files, and I'm just going to take all of these files and drag them right over into my domain. Okay, so now we've got all those files there. Let's jump over, and this was my Easy Dayware site. This is where I just uploaded all of this stuff that we've got here. Let me get this out of the way. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refresh this page, and there you go. Now see, we have all this content, and we've got, this is my clickbait image that I use. I use it because people just really don't hesitate to jump on to click on the I'm not a robot thing, and the moment they click on it, bam, it takes them right to this page, my final destination URL. So from an SEO perspective, I'm getting site engagement, which all the search engines love to see when you get site engagement. So let's get this back open again. Just come back. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to a sitemap here. Now we've got several sitemaps in there. All of that stuff will be covered in more advanced tutorials. But as you can see here, we've got several hundred pages. They're linked here, and let's try that one. Yeah, pops up just like it's supposed to. Okay, see there that we just clicked a few links. Let's pop back over and let's jump back into our FTP screen here. I'm just using WinSCP as an FTP screen. This is all the files we uploaded, right? Let's refresh this. What? Where are these new pages coming from? That's right. We are causing humans and web spiders to create our site on the fly for us. So once it's created, once somebody clicks a link in our sitemap, or we post some random link in a forum or in a video or anything else, or a web spider, a search engine spider, comes and they go through any of these links, it creates that for us. It creates that page. Now it's there, and it's pretty much unlimited size. So there you go. Took us just a couple of minutes really to go through and create ourselves a page. We can do the same thing with a much larger page. In fact, I'm going to go ahead, loaded this project. This time I'm going to tell it that I want to go double and that I want to use existing content. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to select the content that I want to use, which was from this other project we just did, the little small project, because hey, it's fine for me to use the same content. And this one I'm going to tell it I'm going to put in my website under a directory of free. So I'm going to save it again. Now, if you can't tell, I like saving and reloading the project every time I do a save, right? It just makes sense to me. So I'll leave everything else the same. I'm going to go ahead, let this thing get started. And now we'll just sit here, wait this out, let it do its thing. It's not going to take very long at all. Now, as you can guess, when you're doing a massive campaign, and let's face it, this is massive, we're creating a website that has over 250,000 pages on it. Okay, so the longest process we're going to have in a run like this is your title work. Okay, it finished up for us. Let's pop over here and see how long it took. Took a little over 6.5 minutes to do our title work, and a few seconds to do our sitemap builds. And we used our existing content, so we didn't spend any time there. So yeah, just took us a few minutes. Let's view the projects. This one's going to be a little bit different. Now let's look at the one we just now created and uploaded. Got these files right. Well, this set is going to be a little bit different. This is the one we just built. Let's go into our uploads here. You're seeing all of this extra stuff. Well, these are sitemaps. These are all extra sitemaps, and that helps break it down so that all the search engines will accept them, because a search engine will not accept anything with more than like 50,000 links in it. So the software went ahead and broke all that down to make it search engine friendly for you. So let's go ahead. I want to get this uploaded, because think about it. In just these few minutes, we created a website with over 250,000 pages in a few minutes. So let's get up here. Now, if you recall, in the software itself, we told it we was going to put this in a directory called free. All right. So I better build that directory. So I'm just going to go new directory free. And there it is. Now I'm going to paste all of that stuff that I just copied that it gave me in my upload folder. Remember, I tell it where I'm going to upload it, then it creates an upload folder. You don't upload the upload folder, you upload the contents of the upload folder. Boy, that was a mouthful. And there it is, all uploaded. And now I've got a website of over 250,000 pages. So let me go here. And there we go. On my content, every page has got unique content. Every one, if I click it, it's going to go to my, it's going to go to my money page that I told it to go to. And I'm just going to go to one of my sitemaps. And now you're seeing, oh, well, it doesn't have all those 250,000 pages, whatever, right? Well, no, because it broke the sitemaps down. And so now when a search engine comes, it's seeing, okay, well, we have multiple sitemaps to deal with. We're telling it what to expect. And then go to a sitemap, and there you go. We've got about 50,000 pages in here. And again, just like before, as search engine bots, spiders, people, whoever, whatever, whenever, and wherever they click anything or visit one of your pages, it creates those pages right on the fly. So you're allowing the search engines and visitors to do all the work for you. And the beautiful thing is, you always know how many of your pages are indexed because they won't exist here until they've been clicked, until they've been visited or indexed by a search engine. So there you go. That's how simple this is. I know I drew it out a long time. There's plenty more to learn. I just showed you the way that I do campaigns. I tend to keep everything just super basic and simple, but there are extra power features that you can use, like in the advanced options and stuff. But like I said, we'll have other tutorials that will go a lot more in depth into all that sort of thing. I just wanted to show you how I use it and really how simple and fast it is. The only thing that I can add is that no matter what, it doesn't matter how beastly of a home computer you have, your home computer is not going to be able to do this as fast as a Locusware remote, right? You put this software on a Locusware remote desktop and it's going to move at blazing speeds. You do it on your own PC, it's going to be slower. You do it on some random VPS somewhere, it's going to be slower. This was designed specifically for our Locusware remote desktop computers. So because of that, obviously it's going to be a lot faster on those. But that's it. You can still run it right from your PC if you choose to. It's just going to take you a little longer. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this and start to see the excitement there of why I'm talking about, oh, you can build 1 million pages in a day. Yes, you can. You can build 1 million pages most likely while you're on your lunch break or something, So there you go.